So performance appraisal methods are categorized in two ways. That is, one we have traditional, another is in the modern method. BARS. Very famously, this is known as BARS, that is behaviorally anchored rating scale. This may be calculated with the formula. Now I have given the formula where N is the total number of person to be compared. Say here comparison between the people. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Vidhyaashram from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students for this session. Now here when we go with this performance appraisal, in this chapter you will actually understand the methods of performance appraisal. Now in the last two sessions I have told you that the objectives and the limitations of performance appraisal. So let's go with the methods of performance appraisal. So methods of performance appraisal, understand here. The third chapter and the fourth chapter is actually a continuity of performance appraisal methods. So in the third chapter, I'll be teaching more of traditional method, and in the fourth chapter, I'll actually focus more on the modern method. So performance appraisal methods are categorized in two ways. That is, one we have traditional, another is in the modern method. That means the entire traditional method will be covered in the third chapter itself. And the fourth chapter is all about the modern methods. Now, each organization adopt a different method of performance appraisal. That means here, whenever they calculate how exactly we are supposed to allot the salary, who should get the promotion, who should not get a promotion, is all through what? A kind of a technique. And they use the scientific and the statistical tools to evaluate each and every person. Now we have covered a thing called job analysis, job evaluation, job enrichment. The same way here also we have something called, for the people who are efficient and they are working really good in the organization, they are the ones who should get the performance appraisal. And there are a lot of techniques which is used by each and every companies. But what exactly happens there is a different tools is used for the performance appraisal. In a small organization, it may be on an informal basis. Now, when we go with MNC companies or companies which is very gigantic, now they go with scientific tools and they have a formal based performance appraisal method. But for a small organization, say there are only 10 people are there or 7 people are there, for them what happens is the manager or the employer, they themselves will actually go with informal based kind of performance appraisal, where personal opinion of a superior about his subordinate may be considered for appraisal. That means now I'm running a company and I have say 10 of my employees. Now in that 10 of the employees, I'll actually nominate a person as a manager or a supervisor. Now that person will evaluate who should get more salary, who should get more incentives, who should get more benefits. Now on his records, I'll calculate, I'll check to it, and then I'll go with performance appraisal. This happens for a small organization. So traditional method is what we're gonna study in this chapter. Now we have the following methods here. That is, first is straight ranking method. Straight ranking method. Second is paired comparison. Say here comparison between the people. Here what happens here? Grading system. Now I'm gonna explain each and every topic in brief. Next one is forced distribution method and forced choice method. See, distribution method is different, choice method is different. So here we have totally 5 of the traditional method. We are only gonna teach you the syllabus kind what University of Mysore have given, but let me tell you here, I have added some more, so it will definitely help you people to know more about the performance appraisal. Next one we have is checklist method. Checklist method is a traditional method where the employee will get more benefits. Now critical incident method, which is called as CIM, critical incident method, CIM, very famously it is called as CIM. Then graphic scale method, it is all about quality measurements. Here we have what? Quality measurement. essay method. Now essay method where the manager is there and he'll write a kind of a paragraph, right? Paragraph writing about an employee. That is what the essay method is all about. Field review method. Now here in this method what happens? It is not the supervisor who will give the rating for the subordinate. It is somebody else who will actually see to it what the subordinate is doing, and then he will go with this method. So these are the total 10 methods which you people need to write. It is for 15 marks. I'm telling you, performance appraisal is for how many marks? 15 marks. Let's go with the next one, that is called modern method. So this modern method I'm going to teach you in the 4th chapter. Just understand these methods. We have MBO. Now MBO you have studied in your classes, that is management by objective. So if you people are achieving the objective or doing the goals or getting the things done through the others efficiently and effectively, and you're concentrating only on the objectives, then performance appraisal can be evaluated. Now we have the second one, we call it as BARS. B-A-R-S. Very famously this is known as BARS, that is behaviorally anchored rating scale, assessment centers, 360-degree appraisal. 360-degree means completely they're gonna check what the person is doing. And then we have cost accounting method. We still have more here, but I have given only the few things only for you to understand the difference between traditional method and the modern method here. So the first one we have is a rank method, that is straight ranking method. What is a straight ranking method here? It is the oldest and the simplest. It is what? The oldest and the simplest. That means here we have something called, it is the oldest, and we have what? It is the simplest. See, even now in many of the organizations they use this ranking method. Now here what happens is, in which employees are ranked on certain criteria such as trait or characteristics. Now it is upon them that how well that person is. Again, here also comparison happens. That's the reason they go with the ranking, first rank, second rank, third rank, like that they go with it. But what exactly it is? The employee is ranked from highest to the lowest or from the worst also. So worst to the best in an organization. Thus, if there are 7 employees to be ranked, then what happens is there are 7 ranks. Say there are 100 employees, 100 ranks. So it depends on what? The cases of how well they are. And the person who gets the rank here, say the first rank, the second rank, third rank, now those are the people who we call them as the efficient. So top 10 ranks, in the sense top efficient people in the organization. The least rank, say if you go with 70, 80, 90, that means what? They are not so efficient. That is what the ranking system goes with. Now rating scale offer the advantages of flexibility, comparatively easy use and low cost. Nearly every type of job can be evaluated with the rating scale. The only condition being that the job performance criteria should be changed. In such a way, a large number of employees can be evaluated in a shorter time period. Now here what happens is, though it is a traditional one, usually what happens even in your school days or in your college days, what is it? This type of thing happens, that is ranking method. Who is the topper in the class? On what basis they'll go with? They'll go with some examination. They'll actually give you the papers. You will start writing it. Now your efficiency is calculated on the base of that. But is it the right one? Now you may not perform better in one of the subjects, but you are really good in some other subject. So that is the reason we go with this has the oldest as well as the simplest one. But is this the best one? Now let's check the other few and then we'll compare it. Now paired comparison. Now here what happens is, when we go with a paired comparison, now in methods of comparatively simpler as compared to ranking method. Now ranking method, what has happened is we have 1 to 100. So you need to evaluate from first person to the 100th person. Now in this method, the evaluator rank employees by comparing one employee with all other employees in the group. All other employees in the group. So we have small groups. Say there are 1 to 100 employees are there. Now what happens is we will divide this 100 into departments. We have so many other departments. Say we have department A, B, C, D, and we have E. Now what happens is, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in the sense, here we will have 20 people, here 20, say here 30, here it is say 10, here is 20. Now you can go with any kind of a figure you can go with, but what is it? The total should be 100. Now what happens? Among these 20, the ranking systems will happen. These 20, these 30. This is where they go with comparison. They go with comparison. Now here, 1 to 100, what used to happen was, though it is the oldest and simplest, but this one is even simpler than that. Now the first rank is given only to one person. But here what happens? Here also you get a first rank, here also you get a first rank, here also you get a first rank, here also first, then here also first rank. Now later what happens? Whoever gets, again from there, again efficiency. Who is the best in each and every department. So the next one here, if you understand what exactly this comparison is, when we go with this, again here also we divide, that is, in this 20, we again divide, saying that we have here, say here we have 10, and here also we have 10. Again it is divided, so we have 5 here, again we have 5 here. Same, 5 and then 5. Later what happens is they go with the even number, that is only two peoples will be actually compared. Say example, Mr. X and Mr. Y, both are compared. Now there will be a person called a rater. The rater is a person who will just check that who is better than whom. Later what happens, each and every person is compared with each and every one. So what happens, instead of 1 to 100, what will happen is we have only 1 to 50. Because from this what happens, we get to know that by 2, that is 100 by 2 is 50. Now what happens is, we'll rate each and every person, we compare each and every person, and then whoever is really good, for him the tick marks will be more. So the rater is given slips, where each slip has a pair of names, The rater puts a tick mark next to those employees whom he considers to be the better of the two. So this is what the comparison pair will be. Now here when we go with a paired comparison, this method provides comparison of person in a better way. However, this increases the work as the large number of comparison has to be named. But here what happens is, you get a proper check about each and every person who is better than whom. Say for example, let's go with one of the example where we have 50 employees. Now to know 50 employees, how many times you are supposed to go with this comparison paired method is, you need to go with this. Say there are 50. Now in that 50, what is that you will do? Actually you will go with A, B. Now here you will have say 25 employees, here you have 25 employees. In that 25, what happens? So you have here 25, here also you have 25. In that 25 you will go with, that is here you have 12, here you have 13. Say example I'm just going with, okay. Next here 12 you have 6, now here it is 3, then again here it is say 1 plus 1 plus 1. Now understand this, how exactly it happens is, each and every person is compared with each and every person. Each and every person is compared with the other person. Later what happens, those who got compared here, again they are supposed to get compared with these people also. So how many times it will go as, say we have 50 employees. So if you go with the calculation, how many times each and every person should actually record, it is say 1225 times we are supposed to go with the comparison. But this 1225 is what? That is the accurate figure where each and every person will be evaluated properly. So for example, to be ranked, that is 50 persons through paired comparison, there will be how much? 1225 comparisons. Now paired comparison method could be employed easily where the numbers of employees to be compared are less. When you have 10, how much it will be? For 5, how much it is? So this is what the paired comparison. I'll give you one example here. Say example I have given here, I have given you, there are 5 people here. Now say example we have, I've given here Chinmay, Mohan, Rohit. So 3, Vishal is the 4th one, Basanti is the 5th one. So it's like Basanti is there, Vishal is there, Chinmay, Mohan, Rohit. So how the comparison happens, I'll just show it to you people. Now, firstly, when you go with it, there is a formula. The formula is called n into n minus 1 divided by 2. This is what the formula which actually is used. Now, if it is 50, how much? Again, here also I'll just show it to you what exactly happens. So, what is the formula is all about? This may be calculated with the formula. Now, I have given the formula where n is the total number of person to be compared. So, if it is n, I have given here 5. In the sense, what happens is 5 into 5 minus 1 divided by 2. Now 5 into 4 divided by 2. 5 4s is 20. 20 into 2 is equal to 10. So this is how you are supposed to go with the calculation. The same way here also if you go with this, let me just erase this for you people, or I'll just write it here itself. Let's go with the calculation. How I got 1225, I'm just telling you here. N into n minus 1 divided by 2. Okay, now n is how much? 50. Then here 50 minus 1 divided by 2. Now what happens is 50 into 49 divided by 2. So this is how we got 1225. Now let's go with the example here. Now we have Chinmay is C, Mohan is M. Let's go with this. We have here C is the first one, second is M, then we have the third person is called R, the fourth person is called V, and we have the fifth person B. Now what happens is, the first one, C and M, that means here C and M, we have compared C and M, done, that is one. Now we need to actually go with only C, you go with it. C with R I'll compare, C with V I'll compare, C with B. That means now what is that I have done is, C will be compared with all the 4. Done. Now what happens, the next one is, I'll take M. Now M will be compared with all the 3. That is M with R, M with V, M with B. Done. Now I'll go with R. Now M is done. R. R will be compared with these 2 now. RV and RB. RV and RB. And the last one is what? The B here. That is V will be compared with B. V will be compared with B. So totally how many times we have done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The reason is here also we got how much? 10. So 10 times we will go for comparison. This is how the paired comparison examples goes with. If you people can calculate, please do calculate for 25 employees in the organization, how many times you are supposed to go with paired comparison. Thank you so much. Any doubt regarding this session, please do call us. We are always there to help you. I'll see you when I see you.